Good morning. Good morning. Happy Wednesday, everybody. Hopefully, you all are having a good Wednesday. We are here. We're going to talk some bowl games because what else is there to talk about? No NBA basketball tonight. No NFL football tonight. Why? What, can someone explain to me this scheduling? What was this NBA scheduling? And first and foremost, we'll get to the Thunder. I don't know what the Thunder were doing last night. I was like excited for the NBA Cup, when it first started, but I don't know if it was like the teams that were in it or what, but it just didn't have that. It just didn't do it for me. I don't know. It just didn't do it for me, unfortunately. But I want to call out Adam Silver and ask him what the heck is he doing with the scheduling. So, first and foremost, while this whole thing's going on, there's like no games on. If we look at last week, the NBA Cup's on Friday and Tuesday. So once we get past those group stages, last Tuesday there's 2 games, okay? Last Monday there was 1 game. So from the start of last week, we had 1 game, then we had 2 games. Then on Wednesday we had 2 games. Then on Thursday, we had 3 games. Friday, we had a normal slate of games. Saturday, 2 games. Sunday, we had normal games, but football's on. No one's watching that. And then yesterday, 1 game. Today, no games. This scheduling makes no sense. There's been 5 of the last 8 days have had 2 or less basketball games. That just can't be optimal scheduling. And why is there no games today? I don't understand this. There should be like 12 games today. Whoever played yesterday doesn't need to play today, but I don't understand it. Whatever. Anyways, so no basketball tonight, no football, NFL that is. So we're going to talk some bowl games, I suppose. Also, we need to celebrate the arrival of Michael Penix. This guy, if you guys don't know the story of me and Michael Penix, this guy is just an absolute legend. Okay. We bet on Washington last year so many times to make the playoff. We bet on them over as underdogs, bet on them against Texas. Like, this guy's a full-on legend. One of my favorite players that we've ever bet on a lot because he clutched up so many times. So many times that Washington team did us right. Washington with those 3 receivers last year. That's why I'm so biased towards Rome Odunze and Jalen Polk, Jalen McMillan. Like, it just truly one of my favorite college football teams of all times that I've got to watch, and they just made us so much money. So it's a complete celebration that this man is now starting for the Atlanta Falcons. I literally just said it yesterday. We talked about it on stream yesterday. I started to question Michael Penix. And to Michael Penix, if you're watching, I want to apologize for that. I'm sorry. I knew that this was going to happen soon, and it happened after the stream yesterday. Cash game lock? Yeah, I don't know. I need to look at the I need to look at the I haven't looked today. Wednesday's like when I start researching the DFS slates. So I haven't looked at salaries or anything like that. I'm gonna pull this up right now though. Let me see here. Pull up the slate. It's gonna be an interesting slate this week because we have 2 games on Saturday. We obviously have Sunday night, Monday night, Thursday night. So it's probably gonna be 10 or 11 games. Looks like 11 games. If we're looking at quarterback though, he's only 4,500. Yeah, I mean, He's definitely going to be high owned. $4,500 for Michael Penix against the New York Giants. Like you couldn't pick a softer spot. I have the odds pulled up here. Let's look here. Atlanta minus 8.5 in Michael Penix's debut. Only a total of 41.5, but that's because the Giants suck. Falcons team total 26.5 is healthy. Juice to the under, but yeah, gonna be tough to avoid Michael Penix in DFS this week. But it's a celebration, man. I'm so excited, and I think the team will be better. They can still make the playoffs. I like Kirk Cousins' one touchdown pass in 5 games is insane. That needs you can't play quarterback. One touchdown in 5 games. So bad. Anyways, let's talk some bowl games, I guess. And then we'll get out of here just because there's no sports tonight. Tomorrow we have NFL and NBA to talk about. So last night I'm hopefully 1-0 in bowl season. First bet of the bowl season for me was a moneyline parlay, Memphis and Texas. Memphis won last night, so we're just waiting on Texas on Saturday. So hopefully we can start off 1-0 there in the bowl season. Western Kentucky, James Madison. I like James Madison here. Western Kentucky is one of the teams. There's a couple teams that let transfers play in bowl games, even if they're transferring. Western Kentucky has been one of those teams. So a lot of this like transfer news gets announced, but then you need to wait until close to the game starts to get updates on who's dressed and all that stuff. I do think Western Kentucky's transfers will play, but I think James Madison overall is just a way better team, and they don't have that many transfers either. So I would lean JMU in this one. Don't know if I'll bet it. Maybe you could use the money line in a parlay or something, but I would lean towards James Madison in that game. UNLV Cal, same thing. Cal, I don't think their quarterback is playing, I'm pretty sure, because he's transferring. So I would lean towards UNLV. I thought UNLV would have more guys transferring, but from what I've seen right now, it doesn't look like it's crazy. Although I don't think Ricky White is playing. Let me see if I saw updated on that. Let's see here. I don't know if I saw updated news on this. I would be pretty shocked if Ricky White plays. Yeah, it sounds like Mendoza's not playing for Cal. So they're not going to have their quarterback. Yeah, I don't know. I can't find updated info on it, but I would still lean UNLV in this game, even with assuming Ricky White doesn't play. Moving on to tomorrow. There's one game tomorrow. I love Georgia Southern is one of my favorite bowl game bets. I have like 2 or 3 that I really, really like. Georgia Southern is one of them. They have really seen no transfers as of right now. Sam Houston State has seen a ton of transfers. Their coach is leaving. And anytime a coach leaves, I typically like to bet against that team, just considering it normally goes hand in hand with guys transferring. So Georgia Southern for me tomorrow is going to be a big play. I like Georgia Southern a lot. So that's one of my favorite bowl game spots. Both these teams, Ohio and Jacksonville State, both these teams lost their coaches. So I have no idea what to do with that. Jacksonville State's coach, Rich Rodriguez, he's going back to West Virginia. Ohio lost their coach. I don't know what to do with this game. I haven't seen an updated list of guys transferring or not. So I'll probably wait closer till kickoff. We'll be on stream. I'll be on stream Friday at 11. So closer to this game, we'll see who's playing. And then I'll do a live pick on Friday stream for this game because I just don't know with both coaches leaving. It's kind of an unknown right now, and I haven't seen. Florida's huge favorites over Tulane, but Tulane, ton of transfers. Florida Lagway's playing. Florida's going to absolutely destroy Tulane. They'll probably win by 20. I would be fine even laying this number, using them in a money line parlay, whatever you want to do. Florida's going to steamroll Tulane. I wish I would have got in on this when it was a lesser number, but I think they could win by like 20 points here. I think Florida could just absolutely dominate. So I like them. Playoff game. We talked about these last week. I can't decide on this game. I still think if there's an upset in round one, it would be SMU. But I've gone like back and forth internally on Indiana Notre Dame. What's your guys' thoughts? If you're in chat, what's your guys' thoughts on this game? Because I think my mind is tainted because the one really good team Indiana played was Ohio State and they got steamrolled. But at the same time, I never trust Notre Dame, and they haven't really played a great schedule either. I mean, the best teams that Notre Dame has played, I mean, they beat Texas A&M in week 1, but that was not the version of Texas A&M we've seen now. So I'm not putting a ton of stock into that. Like, they had Wegman at quarterback, so don't really care about that. So taking that aside, they lost to Northern Illinois. They, beat Georgia Tech, I guess, but Georgia Tech did not have Haynes King in that game. So that's another kind of asterisk I can put on their wins here. And then they beat, Navy and Army, who, like, okay, that, I don't know. Like, there's a lot of, like, question marks, I think, around this Notre Dame team. So I kind of can't decide. I was like, originally I thought Notre Dame was going to smoke them, but the more I've looked into Notre Dame, I just really don't trust them. So I might honestly kind of lean Indiana to cover. I'm going to like think about that for the next few days. SMU, I'm not going to bet this, but I do think they're live. If I do think they're live, I might look to live bet it maybe, see how Penn State looks. I still think Texas is going to absolutely destroy Clemson. You can alt this. Like, if Quinn Ewers plays remotely okay football, Texas is going to win by 20 or more points. The only, thing that could hinder Texas here is Quinn Ewers just starts turning the ball over. But I kind of have it kind of eases my concerns, I guess. If Quinn Ewers started playing really bad and it was a close game, they could go to Arch Manning. Would they do that? I don't know. But they at least have the possibility, right? But I like I like Texas. I think they're going to destroy Clemson. I still like Ohio State here. I like the under in the game. I love the under in the game, actually. If you can find a 47, oh, man, I love that under. I don't think Tennessee is going to do anything here. I think they're going to score at maximum 17 points. And Ohio State, they just don't really blow teams out. And yeah, so I don't know. I love the under. I do think Ohio State's going to win. And I like the under. The question mark for me here is Tennessee is a good run defense and a bad pass defense. Will Ohio State throw the ball to their amazing receivers? Like, they didn't do this against Michigan. Will they do it in this game? I have no idea. But one thing I do know is I like the under. Betting the under, if you guys have followed me for a while, betting the under in these big games for Ryan Day has been a trend. We've done it the last 2 years against Penn State. It's won in both games. It would have hit in Michigan, most certainly. That was a very low-scoring game. So betting the under in big games for Ryan Day is a trend for me. I like the under in this game, most certainly. I don't expect Tennessee to have – I don't trust Tennessee's offense. Nico has really struggled. If we pull up, like, let's look at Nico's game log here. And Ohio State, their problems this year have not been on defense. Their defense is very good. It's just solely been offensive struggles for them. If we look at Nico's game log, and I'm a big fan of Nico, I think he's going to be a good quarterback, but he's still just a freshman. Against Vandy, okay, let's go all the way back, right? Okay, against who even this, Chattanooga? Okay, against Chattanooga, he threw for 3 touchdowns, no picks, 314 yards. Against NC State, he threw for 211 yards, 2 touchdowns, 2 picks. After those 2 games, Kent State, he didn't play much because they were winning, so we can take that out. Oklahoma, okay, he threw for 194 and 1. It's not a great Oklahoma team. 194 and 1. Against Arkansas, 158, no touchdowns. Against Florida, 169, no touchdowns. Against Bama, 194, 1 touchdown. Against Kentucky, 1 touchdown. So these are like the better teams he's been playing. He's throwing 0 or 1 touchdowns in every single game, and he's not even eclipsing 200 yards. He had a good game against Kentucky, 292, 1 touchdown, no picks. Then Mississippi State, 174, 2-0. Did not throw a touchdown against Georgia. He threw 167 yards, no touchdowns, no picks against Georgia. So, yeah, like I'm not really trusting him against the best. Ohio State is a better defense, in my opinion, than Georgia. So this is the best defense that he's seen all season. He struggled against step up in competition. It's a road game. It is going to be cold weather. He's from California, right? This is a California kid. I don't want to overrate the weather in this game, but it is going to be cold relative to what he's used to playing in, and he has not had success against good defenses. So really like the under, and I like, if you want to take Tennessee team total under, you could do that too, but I think the under in the game looks pretty good to me. Like, assuming Tennessee scores like 13, I don't see Ohio State scoring, 34 points or anything crazy. Another spot, I told you Georgia Southern is one of my favorites. Another one is UTSA. Pretty much Coastal's had some transfers and they're just terrible to begin with. UTSA's looked pretty good to end the season. They're minus 8.5. I think they probably win by 2 touchdowns here. So I'm certainly interested in UTSA in this one at minus 8.5. If you want to alt that up, you can do that as well. Southern Florida, San Jose State, don't really have a lean here. This game's in Hawaii, I think. Big total at 60.5. San Jose State is pretty much going to have the majority of their team, I think. That's including Nick Nash. South Florida, I don't know. I'll probably wait till closer to the game and check stuff on Tuesday on this one. Pittsburgh, Toledo. Pittsburgh has quarterback questions. I don't know who is playing QB for them here. Toledo is pretty bad, though. This is like a home game, though. I think this is in Detroit. Toledo is very close to Detroit. So it's almost like a home game for Toledo. Not that that really matters. Not like Pittsburgh's super far, but I'd probably lean Pittsburgh, but don't have anything firm here. I just really don't trust Toledo. Rutgers, Kansas State. This solely comes down to whether or not Kyle Monangai plays. If he plays, I would be maybe interested in Rutgers. If he doesn't, I would take Kansas State. I'll probably just bet Kansas State minus 6.5. I just don't see why he would play in this game. He's going to probably be a 3rd round pick in the draft, or probably mid to late 3rd, early 4th. Like, we've already seen, and we've kind of seen the Rutgers running back have success recently in the NFL with Pacheco. Don't really see why he would play in this game. So, yeah, I'll definitely wait till, this is the day after Christmas. So we probably won't know until the day of whether or not he's playing, but for like one way or the other, I would assume he doesn't play those. So I'd lean Kansas State. Kansas State pretty healthy and not a lot of transfers. So I would go Kansas State in this game, even to cover if I had to pick a side. I like Bowling Green here mainly because Harold Fannin said he's playing in the game. Now, whether he plays the full game or not, I don't know, but he said he's playing. And I also think that Bowling Green was one of the teams that said they would let transfer players play if they want to. So I would lean Bowling Green in this one. 6.5, 7 is fine with me. Harold Fannin is the deciding factor, though. Like, as long as he's playing, I'm on Bowling Green here. Oklahoma and Navy. I don't really understand why this is 6.5 points. Obviously, service academies are not having transfer issues, but Oklahoma, like from what I've seen, the transfers aren't out of control. Like I saw Jackson Arnold was going to Auburn. He's not their quarterback anyways at the current instance of them. They just beat Alabama. Now, could Oklahoma be focused more on getting transfer guys in? Yes. But, I mean, yeah, I need to look more into this because I'm just confused by this 6.5 points. Like, I think this should be much bigger. So outside of anything crazy transfer wise, I would like Oklahoma in this game. I guess we'll see closer to the game. I'll do some more research on this, but I don't know. This might be a big bet for me. I don't really see why this is 6.5 points. Georgia Tech Vandy. I like Vandy here on the money line. Diego Pavia last game. That's all you need to say. Diego Pavia last college football game. I'm not betting against him. It's that simple. So give me Vandy on the money line there. Arkansas has been absolutely smoked in the portal. Texas Tech sucks though, but Arkansas, it's been pretty extreme with them losing guys. So I can't touch either side of this game personally. Syracuse should absolutely roll Washington State. Washington State's terrible. Don't know if they're even going to have their quarterback, to be honest. We'll have to see on that. Syracuse, I mean, we know Kyle McCord is going to play in this game. So Syracuse should roll here. I like them to cover this big spread. Texas A&M, they've had some transfers, but as long as they have Marcel Reed, I would lean them in this game. USC has been a disaster, and they strike me as a team that's more focused on the portal than the bowl game. So give me Texas A&M as long as Marcel Reed's playing this game, which I'm pretty sure he is. UConn, UNC. I don't really know here. North Carolina obviously getting a new coach and Bill Belichick, but we have seen a few of their players that entered the portal like canceled that. They came back to the team with Bill Belichick being there. Obviously, Bill Belichick's not coaching this game, but I'm just saying they should have like the majority of their team, I would say, except for Omarion Hampton. I don't think he'll be playing here. So I don't know. We'll see closer to the game, but I would probably lean North Carolina. I'm not super impressed with UNC. I would lean Nebraska over BC in this one as well. Don't know much about this game. Haven't looked at it a ton. I like Miami in this game big. There's juice on the Iowa State side. I don't know if like this line's going to move. Maybe you can get in a 2.5, but Cam Ward's going to play, and I think he's going to play like the whole game. From everything I've seen, Miami's guys that are going to the draft are going to be playing in this game. Cam Ward needs to play in this game because if he's going to be a top 5-6 pick, I mean, this is his last game. I would assume it would be good to put some stuff on tape. I also saw that clip of him talking to Shedeur Sanders and saying that, you know, they were basically saying they're going to be throwing the ball a lot. I don't know. I think he's going to play like the full game. So I would take Miami big. This is one of my favorite spots here as well. I like Colorado State on the money line in this one. Miami of Ohio pissed me off so much in that MAC championship game. I'm done with them. I just don't care about them. I'm betting against them out of principle here. Give me Colorado State on the money line. Don't know much about this game. Haven't looked at it a ton. BYU Colorado. This is gonna be one of the biggest spots on the bowl season for me, and it's gonna be on December 28th. You need to be watching this game, and I do think Shedeur and Travis Hunter will play in this game, but I think that they're not going to play the whole game. So what's going to happen here is there's no way Travis Hunter plays the whole game. He'll probably play like a quarter. I don't know. He's not going to play the full game though. Shedeur, maybe he plays the full game, but probably not. So I'm not going to bet this game before it starts. I'm just going to watch the game. And the second that you see Travis Hunter, like the second that it comes back from commercial and they show Travis Hunter and Shedeur like with their helmets off on the sideline, like they're done, just immediately bet BYU. And yeah, so that's probably what I'm going to do. I'm not going to bet it pre-game just on the off chance those guys play the full game, but I don't think that's likely. I think it's likely they play like a quarter or a half and come out. So watch this game, be at your TV on December 28th, and when Travis Hunter and Shador check out, bet BYU live. That's going to be a big angle for me overall. Army, if you're doing like confidence pools, I think you already had to like submit those, but because the bowl game started. But Army is just, yeah, yeah. I don't know. Army's gonna roll. You could put them in some money line parlays. I'm not gonna. I'll never lay a spread that big with like Army, but pretty safe money line parlay piece there. I like Alabama over Michigan as long as Milroe plays, but we're not going to get news on that until closer to the game. So I'm not betting this now. This is going to be in like a week or two. If we get news that Milroe's playing, I will take Alabama. Michigan, we already know Loveland and Mason Graham, like those guys going to the draft are not going to play in this game. Alabama should be pretty healthy. DeBoer said he thought the NFL guys were playing in this game. We know Ryan Williams will be playing. He's just a freshman. So as long as Jalen Milroe plays in this game, I think Alabama wins by 2 touchdowns at least. So Alabama minus 10.5 would be a big bet for me as long as Jalen Milroe plays. I like South Carolina big over Illinois in this one. Some of these are later. I haven't looked at the games a ton because we just don't know sometimes until the day of who's playing. So I haven't done a ton of research on some of these games. I do know I'm going to like South Carolina, though. And I'm probably going to like Minnesota in this one. That's probably the spots later on that I feel confident in. But overall, favorite bets for me, bowl game-wise, under in the Ohio State game, Texas to cover, Georgia Southern to cover over Sam Houston State, and UTSA to cover over Coastal. Those are my favorite spots. Overall, though, that about does it for today. Like I said, really not much to talk about. Tomorrow we'll be live, Thursday night football preview, touchdown picks, all that good stuff. We'll also have some NBA games to chat about as well. So if you're betting tonight, good luck. I'm probably going to put a moneyline parlay in with JMU. Not going to lay the spread. Probably do them. Let's do JMU and maybe JMU, Texas A&M. That gets you plus 120. Might do something like that. I'll look into it, but definitely want to put a moneyline parlay in with JMU. Good luck with your bets tonight. I'll be live tomorrow, 11 a.m., and I'll see you guys then.